Hey, what's going on? It's Miguel, and I've been in sales for about 3 years now. Worked in the corporate field. I've even done some retail, right? And then now I'm in the high ticket info product coaching space, right? And that's ultimately what allowed me to make 17K a month, 10, 15K a month range, and be able to like move to Bangkok, Thailand. So if I had to restart all over again, if I was starting over, I was like, hey, look, I want to get into sales. I don't know where to start. What should I do? First things first, I would understand what I'm getting myself into. Okay. The benefits of sales is that the skill set is universal and that can apply to anything. All right. Like when you get into sales and you build up a foundational skill set, you're always going to be able to monetize that regardless of what industry you're in. So that would be my focus is the skill set itself. Right. But that aside, understand that like if you're gonna suck and it's going to fucking suck. It's going to suck to suck. Nobody's going to be truly passionate about anything unless they're good at it. Have you ever been in a situation where like, hey, look, I really suck at this, but I'm deeply passionate about it? Like genuinely, like sit there and ask yourself that. I'll even let you pause this bitch. You know, it's probably going to be no. At least that's how it is for me and most sane humans. Now, if you're a psycho, maybe you enjoy being horrible at things, but it's not the human condition. All right. Anyways, that being said, so understand this isn't going to be something you're going to hop in and be passionate about. But once you see that you have some positive feedback coming in from it, you're going to be addicted. Okay, it is a really fun time. It has a lot of highs, a lot of lows, but that's also what makes it so enjoyable is that contrast, right? It's not one of those careers where it's predictable day to day. You'll have some days where you won't make any money. Like I'll be transparent with you. The past week, I think I've made like barely any money off of my sales job. Other streams of income and shit, right? But like my sales job itself, traffic's been slow. Offer owner had to go to the hospital. It's been a slow week. Okay, but I can't be mad because I had a 3 day stretch about 2 weeks ago where I made 7.8K and made like 12 grand last month with this shit. So it's like, fuck it. Why not? So that being said, it is unpredictable, but the better your skill set is, the more predictable it will be. Okay, so how do you actually go about investing into your skill set? Okay, so that's really going to be the foundation of it all. I would say think about it this way: if you're going to get into anything and you're directly paid upon a certain factor, right? Let's say you're a basketball player and you want to be the best basketball player you can because you get paid based on how many points you can score. How would you get better at shooting and scoring the basketball? It would probably be getting some help on it and coaching, right? Rather than trying to figure out yourself. Now, could you watch YouTube videos on how to shoot the ball? Yeah. But if you paid someone who's an expert, they're going to probably point out a lot of things to you. And if you've ever been in a sport, you know this. Okay, so for me, I've dropped over $40,000 on coaching programs to help me out, and it's been massively beneficial to me. Now, is that something you have to do? No, but understand that the people you are competing against are getting help from people who are making 50K a month as a closer. So that being said, if you're genuinely trying to compete in the open market, it makes sense to invest into yourself. So I would just get a job, save up some money, and invest into a coaching program to get your skill set up, and then also to get plugged into opportunities, which is a big thing, right? You have to look at it from a two-sided angle. It's the vehicle and the driver. I've spoke about this in my last video. The better vehicle you're in, this which is the better sales opportunity, the more money you're going to make. If you're in a broke down ass Honda trying to race somebody in an F1 car, you're going to get fucked. Okay. But the same light, if you're a toddler behind the wheel who can't reach the pedal in the F1 car and the guy in the Honda is, fucking normal sized male and he can touch the pedal and he knows how to drive, he's going to cook your shit. You know what I mean? So that being said, you want to be maximizing both. You want to be the full grown adult male in the F1 car, basically is what I'm saying. Right? So being the best driver you can be is going to come down to the skill set, and investing in someone who can help you improve your skill set but also give you the vehicle and give you better opportunities always makes sense. But if you're not in that position, I would say it would just be worth getting a job and investing into that, or trying to figure it out and invest your time in order to learn it, right? Because you have a couple of different resources. You have your energy, your time, and your money. And a lot of times we invest our time to get skills, and then we monetize those skills and make money, right? Or we can invest our time directly to go get money at a shitty job and then spend that money to then go get the skills and get the opportunities. So there's a couple different ways to do it. Regardless, man, you're going to have to put a lot of time, money, energy into this if you want to maximize your potential. That's what I had to do. All right. And, on the industry side, going back all over again, why I would even get into high ticket sales to begin with versus like the corporate sales route is because on the corporate side, you're immediately going to be capped. They give you a base salary, which a lot of people look at it as a floor, but it's also a ceiling. You know what I mean? They limit you into this barrier. And then there's also a bunch of like corporate bullshit politics. I won't get too deep into that. It's a very passive aggressive environment. They're not entrepreneurial minded. You're going to have to do a lot of cold calling and outbound. I would just stay the fuck away. Now, is it a decent place to start because the roles are easy? Yeah, the roles are easy to get because they fucking suck. But you can make an easy 50K, 70K a year to start. And then you can use that money, spend 3, 4, 5 months, 6 months in a corporate sales job, get a little bit of skills, get a little bit of money, and then reinvest into going to high ticket. That's what I did. And I went from making 90K a year to over 200K a year, just like that, right? Just from making that jump. So it's possible. Okay. But that being said, coming back to the skill set and opportunity side of things, I would heavily put my focus once I kind of have a baseline foundational skill set. I would go ahead and become an appointment setter, right? I would stay as an appointment setter, which is basically where you set up meetings for the closer. I would invest my time, money, and energy into getting decent at that. And then once I'm decent on the phone and I kind of sound all right, then I would just put all my time, money, and energy into finding a opportunity, because you're not really going to get great at the skill unless you're like actually doing the job, because you need real life repetitions. You can't just role play and talk to air all day and expect to be fucking good. It's just not how the real world works. Unfortunately, you can't cheat the system that way, right? But do the setting for 3 to 4 months after you've got a little bit of a skill set. Your skill set's going to improve, and then you can try to become a closer. Now, when it comes to becoming a closer, you can either say, hey, look, I'll try to close old leads, set and close old leads for the current offer you're on, or you can try to, do some role play, show your skill set with your offer owner. A lot of times after 3 to 4 months, they'll be willing to have you take some closing calls. All right. And you can even offer to, hey, look, I want to become a closer, but I understand you need a good setter. I'm willing to do both. And I'm even willing to help close. Willing to bring another setter on, train them up to be an A player just as I am. And then that way I could be a closer. That's something you could do as well. Or you could just look at other opportunities and find them. You can go on YouTube, find people, type in growth operator, which is the type of person who would be hiring you, find sales managers within the space, find offer owners who are making a little bit of money and pitch yourself to them, right? You're going to have to put in some effort to find these good opportunities, but they are out there. And once you find one, fucking take advantage of it, because they don't last forever. All right. So, all that being said, if I had to start all over, kind of recapping, one, I would either get a normal job and invest money into getting help, or I would invest all my time into getting a decent enough skill set, right, and positioning myself to get in a corporate sales role or any sort of sales job in general to start making decent money. That way you can make at least 30 to 50K a year, right, depending on what country you're in as well. And then with that money, I would reinvest to then get into a program to get into the high ticket space. And then once you're in the high ticket space, start as a setter, spend a few months there, learn the process, try to become a closer within month 3 to month 6, and then try to maximize those opportunities, maximize your skill set. And eventually, within your first 6 months, there's no reason you shouldn't be able to make at least 10, 15K a month. Right. And then if I had to go back all and over, that's what I would do it. And understand this isn't going to be an easy process. It's going to be difficult, but what's more difficult, staying in your current situation or doing what needs to be done to make the change? Regardless, it's going to suck. Regardless, you're going to have to deal with pain. That's just the nature of life, but at least get some reward for your suffering. All right. So I hope this was helpful. And if you're looking to kind of get some help with this and break into the space, marketer alert, I do have a program. Okay, down below, I have a work with me button if it's something you need to get help with, or if you're just curious in general about how the space works. I'll be sure to give you some value on that. Or better yet, you're still learning and you when you have questions, I have my Instagram down below. Go ahead and give me a follow there, shoot me a DM, and I'll be sure to give you some help. I'm always posting some game on there and also on this YouTube channel if you want to stick around. So hope this was helpful, and I hope to see y'all crush it.